A few years ago, owning something felt simple. You paid once and it was yours. A movie, a piece of software, a car, even music. You bought it and you kept it. That was the model most people grew up with. But today, that model is quietly disappearing. Instead of owning things, more and more people are subscribing to them. And it's not just entertainment anymore, it's software, it's storage, it's fitness, it's transportation. Even parts of products you already own. Subscriptions are slowly taking over everything, and the shift is much bigger than it looks. Because this isn't just about how you pay, it's about how businesses are changing and how your relationship with products is being redefined. To understand why subscriptions are everywhere, you have to start with one key idea: predictability. For businesses, subscriptions create stable, recurring revenue. Instead of relying on one-time purchases that can fluctuate, companies now generate income every month. That changes everything. In the past, businesses had to constantly find new customers. Every month they started from zero, but with subscriptions they start with a base of revenue already locked in. That stability makes planning easier, it makes growth more controlled, and it makes investors much more confident. So naturally, companies are moving toward this model. But there's another layer to it. Subscriptions don't just change revenue, they change how products are designed. When a company sells you something once, the goal is simple: make the sale. But when you're paying every month, the goal is different. The goal is to keep you. That means building products that you continue to use, products that become part of your routine, products that feel difficult to replace. And this is where subscriptions become powerful, because the longer you stay, the more valuable you become. So companies focus heavily on retention, keeping you engaged, keeping you subscribed, keeping you inside their ecosystem, and over time, that creates something called stickiness. The more you use a service, the more your data, habits, and workflows are built around it. Leaving becomes harder, not because you can't leave, but because it's inconvenient. You have to move data, learn something new, change your routine. And for most people, that friction is enough to stay. But this shift isn't just driven by businesses. Consumers are part of it too. Because people are increasingly choosing access over ownership. Instead of buying music, they stream it. Instead of owning software, they subscribe to it. Instead of paying large upfront costs, they spread payments over time. And that feels easier. Lower commitment, lower upfront cost, more flexibility. You can start using something immediately without a big investment. And that makes subscriptions appealing. But there's a trade-off. While subscriptions feel cheaper in the short term, they often cost more over time. Month after month, those payments add up. And eventually, you might pay far more than the original value of the product. But here's the interesting part. People still prefer subscriptions because the value has changed. It's no longer just about owning something, it's about convenience. It's about continuous updates. It's about always having access to the latest version. With subscriptions, products don't stay static, they improve, new features are added, services expand, and that creates a different kind of value, not ownership, but ongoing improvement. For businesses, this is a huge advantage because it allows them to evolve their products continuously. Instead of releasing big updates every few years, they can improve things in real time, and they can use data to guide those improvements. Because subscriptions create constant interaction, companies can track how you use the product, what you like, what you ignore, and they can use that information to optimize everything. So subscriptions don't just generate revenue, they generate insight. But there's also a downside to all of this. As subscriptions spread across more areas of life, costs start to stack up. Individually, each one feels small, $10 here, $15 there. But together, they can become significant. Streaming services, apps, tools, memberships, it adds up quickly. And because payments are spread out, it's easy to lose track. This leads to something called subscription fatigue. People start to feel overwhelmed, they begin to question what they're paying for, and eventually they start canceling, which creates a new challenge for businesses. Because in a world full of subscriptions, you're not just competing on product, you're competing for a place in someone's monthly budget. And that changes competition entirely. It's no longer product versus product, and it's subscription versus subscription. So companies are responding by building ecosystems. Instead of offering one service, they offer bundles. Multiple services combined into one subscription. Storage, entertainment, tools, all in one package. The goal is simple: become essential. Because the more value you provide in one place, the less likely someone is to cancel. But subscriptions are now moving beyond digital products. They're entering physical goods too. Cars with subscription-based features, fitness equipment that requires monthly memberships, even everyday products like groceries and personal care items are being delivered through subscriptions. And this signals something bigger. Subscriptions are no longer just a pricing model. They're becoming a default way of delivering products and services. And as this continues, the idea of ownership starts to change. Instead of owning things, you're renting access continuously. And that raises an important question. If everything becomes a subscription, what do you actually own? Because in many cases, the moment you stop paying, access disappears. Your software stops working, your content is gone, your features are locked. That's very different from traditional ownership. And it gives companies more control. Control over access, control over pricing, control over how products are used. Now, this doesn't mean subscriptions are bad. In many cases, they provide real value. They make products more accessible. They reduce upfront costs. They allow for continuous improvement. But they also shift the balance from ownership to access, from one-time decisions to ongoing commitments, and from customer control to company control. So when you look at the bigger picture, the rise of subscriptions is not just a trend, it's a structural shift. A shift in how businesses operate, how products are delivered, and how people consume. Because the future is becoming clear. You may not own as much as you think, but you will subscribe to almost everything.